I don't know if you saw this, but there was a story that's kind of making the rounds around the internet today. It's kind of a psychological, sociological thing that people order different foods when they're by themselves than when they're with people. And the peer group around you will also change it.
Yeah.
Even broke along racial lines. Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. But it's like if you're in front, like you'd be, Kelly, more likely to buy M&Ms in front of a white dude than in front of a black dude.
Is that right?
Yes.
Really?
That's the gist of this survey. And I don't know how expansive it was, but obviously we've talked about this before. You act differently in front of different groups.
Well, yesterday, big client luncheon. Going
Big
out.
client.
We have a Gabe who is in charge of wavetechtherapy.com. He saved my life.
Yeah.
He saved my life in the bedroom. Okay.
All right.
And I don't mean that as weirdly as it sounds.
No. It sounds weird, but
Go
ahead.
My
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically.
It's 2022.
Then
Go
we
ahead.
had our salesperson, Martha, who's very healthy. They're both very healthy people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martha's healthy.
They eat very well.
And they work out. I mean, she rides
do.
that spinny bike.
She's a spinner. And I don't mean that as weirdly as it sounds.
Well, all right.
And then we have the Littlest Patriot. Also, he eats a lot, but he works out.
He's
a
like
lot.
Popeye.
Yeah.
He looks like Popeye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he wears shirts that are intentionally too small. Because I looked at him yesterday.
Oh, of course
Yeah,
he
he
does.
works youth medium.
I watched him. I was right across the table from him. I don't mean that as weirdly as it sounds, but he was And then we had Ricky, our sales manager, and myself. So it was a lunch for 5. And I went ahead and got M&Ms before the lunch, knowing that I was
On the drive over?
In fact, I had to beat the machine up to get them out there yesterday. I was really banging on it.
Was this a real healthy restaurant or was just your...
It's a healthy restaurant. I would say you can definitely get very healthy items in there.
Uh-huh.
You can go burger, I imagine.
But there's fish and quinoa on the menu.
Oh, no question. This is a very high dollar, very nice place.
Uh-huh.
And I only go there. Actually, I only meet
With the company.
With the company. I never go there off book. So, and when I was banging the machine to get my M&Ms out, another guy who works here, Joe, thought I had a heart attack because he came around. He looked at me.
He is going to find you under that machine one day.
It's possible. But he goes, man, I'm sorry. I was just doing some work I didn't know. I said, yeah, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we get there, and what did we order? This is funny. They have something on the menu called a cauliflower steak, which is just like a steak, but it's a big, thick slab of cauliflower.
I've seen that. I've never ordered one.
Well, Littlest Patriot said, who would order that? Gabe said, it's my favorite thing on the menu.
Yeah.
Gabe he's really healthy. So Littlest Patriot said, I shall order it too. And they both got the cauliflower steak.
So can you describe the entree?
Yeah, now I didn't get it, but it's got a bed of couscous with a big slab of thick cauliflower, which looks somewhat like a steak, and then there's a sauce over top of
So
it.
you think they took an entire head of cauliflower and then just shaved off the top and bottom?
Yeah.
So you have a steak-sized piece?
It's an inch thick, and it has a lot. You can tell a lot of seasoning on it and all that.
You have to.
Yes, and they both said it was really good, and it was completely vegetarian.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what they got. So then, so I'm around these folks. So then Martha, who's also very healthy, gets salmon. And she says, can I forego the polenta and get double vegetables? So I look at her like, Martha. And then I'm next.
We do that all the time, man. All the time.
So I'm next, and you're wondering. So I get...
The pressure is
on. And so I look.
They have a great burger.
Okay. You're eyeing that burger, aren't you?
They have a... Yeah, of course Of course I'm eyeing the burger. Of course. That's what I want, burger and fries.
It's literally called the darn good burger.
It is. It is. So I got pecan-encrusted trout with polenta and mixed greens. And, suffered through that. But it was really good. Actually, it was very, very good. And then Ricky...
But it wasn't what you wanted.
No, it wasn't. And Ricky from sales said, I'll get a darn good burger, add bacon. And so he got what he wanted.
At that.
And the rest
he
of
don't
it.
care.
But in the middle of it, so I think you're right. I mean, you have to obviously order different. And then I texted the wife as soon as I got done and said, start the oven for brownies. I made a pan last night. And I ate almost the whole thing of
Did you
brownies.
snack on the way home, Kelly?
I stopped at chicken and pickles.
That's a proper attitude.
Wash the fish taste out of your
Get
mouth.
that fishy taste out.
And they had some sort of a yellow sauce over, like a, what do they call it? Like pure blanc or something like that. And I was like,
Can I get a milkshake?
yeah. But Gabe says he never has a grain of sugar. And I said, that's what I'm going to do for my friend Biggie. I'm going to wear this shirt and not eat sugar when he comes back. So it'll be miserable.
Yeah, you'll be awful.
Oh, I will. You'll hate me for 21 days.
Well,
maybe longer. Maybe longer.
Don't sell yourself short.
You will.
I'm up for it.
So, in the conversation, and you're totally right about what you'd order, because if it was us going out, I would have got the burger.
Yeah.
You know,
We wouldn't have gone there.
No, I would have said absolutely
Go
not.
to that hot dog place Dave likes.
All right, we're going to Yum Yums.
We're going Yum Yum because they got hot dog ice cream.
we would
Cheerwine.
darken the door of the place. You're totally right. But our conversation got around to rectal exams, which most lunch conversation does. I mean, eventually you get over to that, right?
At some point.
So I mean, he's in the health field, and he was talking about aging and different things you have to go through, and colonoscopies came up, you know. And Littlest Patriot said, I haven't had the colonoscopy yet. And Gabe said, have you had a digital exam? And he goes, I don't think so.
Kelly, could you hear the wheels turning?
Yeah, he stared
in the Littlest
at it.
Patriot's head?
He stared at it for a while, and he goes,
First of all, he's not good at math.
I don't think so.
So nothing with digits.
So he said,
I had an analog. No, that's
Gabe
something
said,
else entirely.
I'm very surprised you haven't had a digital exam at your age. And he goes, I don't think I have. But I could tell he didn't know
what the word digital meant.
What digital meant. So we go on, and he said, well, mostly it's blood testing now. Anyway, they don't do the digital exam as much. And Littlest Patriot said, it sounds very technical. It sounds very high-tech.
It's the utter opposite.
I'd go as far as to say it's the least technical you can do. In fact,
it's the most primitive medical exam there is.
In fact, you don't even have to be a doctor to do it. Celebrate that in your bedroom.
That's right. It sounds very, very high-tech. And Gabe says, the digital exam. And he starts doing his finger up and down. He's like, the digital exam. And Littlest Patriot says, I've never had one of those. I've never had that. It's too technical. It's too high-tech. I said, I think
our insurance doesn't cover it.
I think you have. I think you have had the, and we all start doing our finger up and down, like we haven't said.
Who had the salmon?
That's mine.
We're all sitting there doing our finger up and down, saying, "I can't believe you haven't had a digital exam." I haven't had a digital exam. It's too. He's like, "What do they do? What do they do in a digital exam?"
Did Ricky not pull him aside and explain?
No, he really should have, because he was sitting next to him. He could have whispered to him, "It's a finger.
Yeah.
It's a finger up your bum. It's a finger up the bum." And then Gabe says the old joke. He's like, "Well, if you're getting the digital exam, you got to pick a doctor with the skinniest fingers." And Littlest Patriot goes, "Why?"
All of this sounds absolutely true and plausible with him.
We've known this guy a while. And when it comes to the radio business, there's no one who knows more about it.
Passionate.
Beyond passionate.
Right.
But when it comes to anything outside of this environment,
Yes.
he's clueless.
He can't follow it.
It's like he doesn't live in the world.
I've watched television shows and movies with him. He has no idea. He can't follow them. And so clearly what he thought was some sort of high-tech digital device was
right. You
being
get some
used.
printout.
Right. And he wondered why we were all doing our finger at him like this, but nobody ever said finger up the bum.
Yeah.
And so finally someone explained, it's all that is, a digital exam is having the finger up your rectum, to check your prostate. And he goes, "Oh, I've had that. I've done that." It's like, yeah, I figured as much. I mean, most doctors start doing that.
He learned a new term.
You typically start that if you're a man at, 40?
I think so. Yeah. Maybe even a little. Yeah. I think
sometimes
40.
earlier.
Yeah.
If there's history, but I think mine was 40.
So he's done that. Right. So we all determined who had and had not had. And we all had.
I don't know if I told you guys, but I had my physical, 2-3 weeks ago, my annual. Mm-hmm. And the doctor said my numbers were so good, I didn't need a digital.
Well, see, that's what Gabe was saying. He's like, sometimes you don't even need it now because they just do the blood work and look at the P. So that was his whole story was the last time he was in, his doctor said the same thing.
Yep.
He's like, so can we skip it?
We'll just do blood work.
And the doctor said, if you're comfortable skipping it, we'll skip it. And he's like,
I was.
Well, so was he. That's what he said. He goes, look, you don't want to stick your finger up my butt, and I don't want it there, so let's skip it.
Let's just hit my knee with the rubber mallet and be done. Another primitive medical exam.
It is, man.
So they agreed.
And it's still there.
That's exactly what he was saying. See, he's like you. He's in good shape. I'm off sugar. I am off suger when Biggie comes back.
Maybe Shay's going to get you M&Ms.
You have to do it today.
I got you.
Okay.
We'll work that out. Yeah.
Today's my last
Today's
day.
the last day?
Today's my last day on
What
sugar.
about the brownies?
They're gone.
Well, I finished those. That's no problem. They're down here in the gut already, you know. I'll have it for the weekend, but when Biggie comes back in here, I'm going to suffer through it with him.
Okay.
I'm going to suffer with him.
You're a good man. You're a good friend.
Thank you. No one's ever said that about me before. Never.
Well, we'll find out.